Hello everyone, my name is Ronak and you're watching VectoArt. In today's video, we will learn how to create a resume design in Microsoft Word. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let's start by creating a blank document and let's go to layout and change the margin to narrow. Now let's go to insert and select a shape. Let's select a rectangle and draw a rectangle on the right hand corner. Okay, now let's right click and format shape and remove the uh, line color and set a different color for the fill. Okay, now let's get rid of the line color. Now let's position it and snap the edges to the page border. Now let's select let's go to the text box tool and draw a text box on top of the page. Let's fill it up with the name. The font that I've used is Oswald for the name, and for the rest of the document I will be using Roboto. Okay, I'm adding spaces between the letters. Let's get rid of the borders for the text box by going to properties and changing the line color to no line. Let's make a copy of the text box and then add the last name. Let's increase the size to 48 points and add spaces between the letters. Let's take the regular version of the Oswald font, which has a lesser thickness, or to say font weight. Let's arrange the text and align it with the first name. Okay, now let's make one more copy of it. And paste it below the last name, and this will hold the job title. Let's select the text and change the font size and the font weight properties. Okay, let's select Roboto Light. It has a less font weight. Let's making some minor adjustments to the text so that it looks visually good. Okay, now let's make one more copy of the text box, and this will hold the initials. Okay, let's change the text color to white. Okay, now Now we have to go to insert, and let's select a shape, a rectangle, and draw it on the screen on the document. And let's go to format. Before that, let's add spacing between the letters for the job title, and the text should be designer and not design. Okay, so that's fixed. Now let's get back to the rectangle that we drew, and let's change its height and width properties from the format tab. I'm setting it to 4 centimeters height and width, and I'm positioning it. Now I'm going to the fill property and changing the fill to a picture. So let's browse that picture from the Explorer. Okay, now once that's done, now let's move on to the profile section. So let's make a copy of the text box again, and let's get rid of the text, and let's add the profile title. Let's change the font to for Robo to regular, and add spacing between the letters. Okay, align it with the initials that we have on top. Okay, let's add some more spacing between the letters. Here in this case we have added 2 spaces between the letters, and we'll follow the same for the rest of the section titles. So now I've made a copy of the rectangle that we have, and I'm making it small so that it acts as a underline for the title. I'll make a copy of the profile title again, and now I will increase the size, get rid of the text, and place some placeholder text in it. So this section will house the profile details and overall summary of your profile. So I'm making this font change to Roboto, and getting rid of the font weight. Okay, let's align the text and decrease the size. Okay, now next let's move to the contact section. So for that, let's make the copy of the profile and the underline and paste it below the name and next to the image. And again, it has to align with the profile section title. Even here we are adding 2 spaces between the letters, and here especially just for the contact information we are going to change the font size. That will be smaller than the rest of the titles that we have. Okay, so next we have to add the contact details. So let's make the copy of the text box that we have in profile and just drag it below the contact info title. Now Let's start adding the phone number, email and address details. You can get rid of the hyperlink by right clicking on the uh, text and removing it. Okay, so next let's move to the experience section now. So let's copy and paste the text box below the contact info and change the text to experience. Again, we will be adding 2 spaces between the letters. Like I said, I have changed the font size for the contact info title so that it does not look much prominent on the page. And now we are adding one more space between the letters, and let's make a copy of the text box and paste it below the experience section. Increase the size of the text box and let's start adding the name of the company, the sections where the name of the company goes, and the job title and the duration of work experience. So once you are done with that, let's add some placeholder text. And so once we have a template, let's copy and paste that multiple times. Since this is a template, we are just pasting a placeholder text, but in when you are actually designing or modifying this template, by the way, which is available in the description box, you have a link from where you can download this template. So you can download this and add the appropriate values or data in the sections and make it your own. Okay, now I have made a copy of the experience title and I am just placing it next to the experience section and just below the profile section. So this will be the place where we add the skills. So let's draw a line, a vertical line, so that we have an idea of where to put the text and we do not have much confusion on the alignment. So I have added that line. I'll get rid of it later on once we are done designing. So the skills title is done. Let's copy it once again and paste it below it, where the subsection called professional details or the professional skills will be pasted. Now decrease the size of it and then add spacing between the letters. This has just one space between the letters, unlike the other titles that we have. Okay, let's position it and then let's copy it once again, or let's increase the size in this case and then maybe add the professional skills under that. Okay, before that, let's add a small underline Okay, and right click on that, go to go to format options, and then change the color of the line to a dark gray. Once you are done with that, let's start adding the professional skills. I'm speeding up the process here just to save some time, and so that the video does not get too long. Okay, so that's done. So let's change the font to Roboto, and get rid of the font weight, and just change it to a bulleted list, and change the indentation to right. Let's add some spacing between the lines. Let's make a copy of the professional skills and paste it below the professional skills, and let's change the text to technical skills, or maybe we can change it to expertise. We have to get rid of the skills title because we have it already on the top. So this is a subsection, so let's change the professional skills to expertise, and again we are adding the space between the letters, and let's get rid of the skills from the professional section and add some new skills here. Okay, I think we are done with the first page, so let's remove the line that we have added. Okay, so we are done with the first page. Now let's copy all the elements on the first page by clicking Ctrl A, and then copying it by Ctrl C, and then go to insert a blank page and paste it on it. Let's get rid of the image, and then move the selected contents a little up, and then let's get rid of the contact information and the profile section as well. Now let's move this experience section a little up. Okay, also the horizontal lines that we have, which we use as an underline, below the subtitles. And now let's change the text from experience to education, so this will house the education details. Let's add spacing between the letters, 2 spaces. And let's let's change the name of company to name of university, and job title to degree title, and let's get rid of the placeholder text. Okay, I think we are done with the education details. If you have some more, then you can make use of the last placeholder text and the text, and then finally resize the text box according to the content. Now next is the awards section, so let's change the text from skills to awards. Okay, now next we'll change the professional details to maybe award name. Yeah, let's change it to award name, and then let's get rid of the text below that and the line. Get rid of the bullet points, and now let's start adding the details of the awards. Let's copy the placeholder content from the profile section and paste it below the award name. Let's change the spacing between the lines to 1.5 points. Remove unwanted spacing after the paragraphs and change the line height to 1.15. Okay. Now let's get rid of the expertise section and also the uh, horizontal line that we had for that. Here I'm quickly changing the font size to 9 from 8 because 8 was too small. So I'm just quickly making the changes to all the text on the page to 9 except the titles. The titles I am changing it to font size 1 point bigger, so that will be 12. Okay, so we are done doing that. Now I have made a copy of the experience section and skills section from the first page, and I'm pasting it on the second. So this will be a continuation to the experience section. So I'll get rid of the last text in the experience section and add a continued script to it. Let's again add spacing between the letters and change the font size of it. Okay, so that's done. Now let's add some other skills like personal skills. So let's change the title and add spacing into it, and just remove these skills that are already there and update them with the new one. Okay, it's done. Now we are making another copy of it and just placing it below the personal skills. And this one will be the language information. So again we are adding spacing between the letters. Okay, now the languages are added. Now let's move on to the last two sections that we have, that is interests and references. So I've made a copy of the skills title and I've pasted it and aligned it with the the experience section, and changing the text and adding the spacing between the letters. Okay, okay, and this will have the hobbies in this. So let's change the title to hobbies and let's add some hobbies. I'm making a copy of it so that we can add some more hobbies. Okay, so we are done with the hobbies also, and now we'll make a copy of the interest section again and paste it. Okay, and let's change the text to references, and I have some references text which I use in most of my videos, so I've copied them, so I'll just paste it in that section that we have. So I am making use of the control key. So I hold on to the control key and drag it using the mouse to make a copy of the existing content. Also you can simply right click and copy and paste the content the old fashioned way, but we can make use of the control key and the drag function to make copies of the content. So now I am exporting the file by going to file and export to PDF, and there you go guys, our resume is ready. Hope you all liked watching this video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Bye bye.